Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Shek My Love. If this is your first time, we are going to see how we take our body measurements, but we are going to see how we take our upper body measurements. So next time I'm going to come back with a video how to take your downer measurement. So today all you need is a pencil or a pen, a piece of paper where you're going to mark your measurements and then your tape measure. So with all that being said, let's get straight to the video. Oh wait, if you feel free to join the family. We talk about sewing, fashion, we talk about beauty, lifestyle development, and life as a maid in Saudi Arabia or in UAE. So if you are interested in one of the above mentioned, you are in the right place. Go ahead and click that subscribe button and click the bell so that you don't miss a thing, baby, whenever I post a video. So we are going to go ahead and start. Before I start, you have to know when you're taking your measurements, you have to know that, like, when you're making a garment or you're making something for someone, you have to make sure you take the measurements, because you don't want to ruin someone's fabric or material and then you get those losses. Like, no one wants that. This is a year for leveling up, not to make losses. So when we are taking our measurements, we take vertical measurements. Is it vertical? I think so. Vertical measurements, and then we take horizontal measurements. So we are going to start with the vertical measurements. So when you're taking the vertical measurements, this is basically how we take measurements for almost everything: t-shirts, dresses, everything. So you can use these measurements for anything that you want to make. So first of all, we take from the shoulder up to the upper chest. But if you don't want to take, some people ignore that, but that is okay. If you don't want, don't take it. So you come and press you see, when you're taking the measurements from you have to make sure you press your tape measure in the middle of your shoulder, not here, in the middle of it, because when you're cutting, we cut it at once. So you come and put your tape measure here and you take to your upper. Are you seeing that? This is the upper, from the shoulder to your upper chest. This is the upper chest. To know the upper chest, you come here. When you're taking you see, this is the upper chest. This is it. And it is so important to take it, because when you're making the armhole, you have to consider this than the chest measurement. So it's important always to take them, to avoid inconveniences. So we take from the shoulder up to the bust. The bust, this is the widest part of your upper body. You understanding that? So basically, it's you always take from the shoulder up to the nipple. Yes, this is the length of it, from the shoulder up to the middle of your breast, or to the nipple. This is the length of it. It has to be like this. And then you take from shoulder. I prefer taking you see, from shoulder up to your waist. To know your waist, you have to consider the smallest part on your body, of your upper body, the smallest part of it. So you take it like this. Hope you're seeing that. That is the waist. And then to take your hip measurements, it depends on how or where you want your garment to stop. Maybe you're sewing a t-shirt or a top. It's already. So this is how we take our vertical measurements for the top or for any garment. So we are going to go ahead and take our horizontal, yes, horizontal measurements. So you start from here. So these are the most tricky sometimes. This is how you take your shoulder measurements, and you have to note that when you're taking your shoulder measurements, you have to always divide what you get by 2. If you're using a tape measure, it's okay, whatever you get. Like this, I have 16, and you have to make sure when you're taking your shoulder measurements, it doesn't end up here, because our shoulders are slanting and always our garment sits here at the slanted point or part of the shoulder. So it's always, you have to always come a little bit down here, not up, just like how I'm doing it. You come up to here. Just because I'm putting on black, you can't see how where my shoulder sits, but it's always, it has always to be here, not up here. So you divide this by 2, whatever you get, you divide it by 2 like this. So here I have 7.5. That's how you take your measurements. When you're cutting, it's always easy because you cut it. In most cases we cut on fold. So to take your upper chest, I told you, and you have to make sure this thing is in line, you see. But sometimes many people don't take that, so you can skip that. And this is how we take our bust. So when you're taking your bust measurements, it's so tight, you have to always to leave an allowance. It has to move like this, you understand, like that. Yes, that's how it is, it's supposed to be. And when you're taking this is what we have. I have 38. So when you're cutting this, you don't cut as 38, you come, this is what I have. This is the best way of dividing this. If you don't have a calculator or you're finding hard time to do that, you come and do this. That is 1. We divide it by 4. That's what I mean. So this is the middle of the 38. Then you go ahead and divide it by 2 again. So whatever you get after dividing it by 2 is what you mark on your pattern cutting. When you're cutting the pattern or fabric, it's what you get. So this is what we have. Because always this fabric, maybe a t-shirt or dress, what we cut it in 4, because this is one part and this is another part. These are 2 parts. But when we are cutting, we always cut a quarter of the body, and then we trace them. So that's why we divide everything by 2, this by 2 and this by 2, and then we get 4 parts. I hope you understand that. So you have whatever you get around here, you divide it by 4. It's only the shoulder measurements that we divide by 2, and then we go to the waist. It's the same thing. I told you to get your waist. It's always the smallest part of this upper body or upper section. So this is my smallest part of my body, you see. And you have to make sure it's, you see, yeah, that's how we take it. And then you come and do the same thing. You divide it by 4. This is 2, and then by 4. This is what you mark. You mark a quarter on your when you're cutting your, when you're marking your pattern, when you're going to cut, you always mark a quarter of your body. So after everything comes out properly, then you come down here, yeah, you mark it and you do the same thing. So that's how we measure our upper body. I repeat, this you divide by 2, the shoulders you divide by 2, this by 4, by 4, and by 4. So everything else you divide by 4, but apart from the shoulder, it's what we divide by 2. And then I'm going to, when you're taking your arms, it depends on what you want. So you just take, this is just the length of your arm. It depends on what you want. So we always, when you're taking for, maybe for a suit, you always mark from your wrist, from here up to here, your round. You see that? Taking your round, this is the circumference of your armhole. It's important to take it. It's important to take it. And another way of getting your armhole, what you get here, the bust measurement, you divide it by 6 and you add 1.5. That is the simplest, but you can also take your round armhole. So you get the exact the same. So you take this part too. It's important to take it, and then you take this according to what you want, according to the size of the armhole you want. You take everything according to what you want, and then you take this too. If you want something fitting, if you want, but if it's a free sleeve, it's okay, you can skip that, but you make sure you take your armhole circumference. Come back and show you how you take your measurements, but I'm going to come and show you how to take your measurement for a skirt and then for a trouser, because they are kind of different. Not kinda, they are really different. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. People were asking how to take our body measurements, and I've done that. So guys, I would like to thank you for your feedback, for subscribing. Again, if you are new here, you're welcome. This is Sheikh My Love. We love you. We are a family here, and pleasure to inspire someone out there who think they are alone in that situation. You're not alone, baby. So we are in this together, and we are going to grow together, and we are going to succeed. So don't give up, and make sure you follow your dreams. Thank you. Love you. Bye.